Uh, my topic is industrialization during the Asaf Jahi period. Abstract. The erstwhile Asaf Jahi dynasty, also called as Nizam state, located in southern India, was once a hub of industries and industrial activities. The princely state and offshoot of Mughal dynasty was especially for its gold, diamond, pearls, and agricultural trade, due to which the state had its own railways, power plants, dams, industrial corridors or zones, etc. The rulers took special interest in promoting trade and industrial activities in the kingdom for both reasons, that is, to benefit the subject and to prosper the economy. After the state was annexed into Indian Union and divided into multiple geographical and linguistic entities, the erstwhile dominions fell into backwardness. Now, most of the districts which earlier comprised of Nizam state today come under backward districts as notified by the government from time to time. This paper deals with the journey of Nizam state from prosperity to impoverishment. This paper also aims to identify the causes which derailed the once booming economy and to suggest measures for promoting industrial growth of the region. अभी जैसा कि हमारे दो भाइयों ने भी बहुत सी साउथ इंडिया में खासकर टीपू सुल्तान का जो दौर हुकूमत रहा, जो उस पर बहुत तेजी से रोशनी डाली है, शायद मैं इस पे एक आसफ जाही पीरियड क्या था और उसमें किस तरह से इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन किस उरूज पर था, उस पर कुछ रोशनी डालते हुए अपनी बात को आगे बढ़ाऊंगा. जो मेन पेपर डील करता है, द स्टेट ऑफ हैदराबाद इवन दो रूल्ड बाय ए मुस्लिम रूलर वाज नॉट एट ऑल एन इस्लामिक स्टेट as is supposed by some people, but in contrast in every sense it was a secular state, perhaps more secular than the proclaimed ones. The Nizam was equally generous in granting aids and taking up developmental works of Hindus. Many temples, Banaras Hindu University and other religious institutions were on his pay list along with masajid, dargahs and imambaras. His inner circle of high-level aides include many Hindus like Chandulal, Rambaksh, Maharaja Kishan Prasad, Sham Sundar, Raja Bahadur, Venkat Ram Reddy and many others. The most distinctive feature of the Hyderabad state was that it was an income tax free state with no person was taxed on his income. The government was self-sufficient from the revenues from its gold, silver and pearls trade. In fact, Hyderabad was called the city of pearls on account of its thriving pearl trade. Another feature which remarkably uplifts the image of Hyderabad state was that it was a communally peacefully state throughout its history and also during the times of partition, when the rest of the country was reeling under endless riots and killings. Many people have tried to showcase Hyderabad in a very bad light, using the cooked up stories of atrocities by Razakars on innocent Hindus. This was very bad and very false statement. There are many people still alive from those days who testify that those accounts are nothing but a pure work of fiction. Of course, some miscreants did try to terrorize and intimidate the Hindu subject, but it was nothing more than the self-actions of firing elements. The Nizam state had its own railway, airways, public transport, mint, intelligence, police post and telegram, information broadcasting system, municipal system and many more features of a developed state during those days. It's a pity that most of those districts who formerly came under Nizam dominion today find themselves on the list of backward districts. Not only the state was welfare oriented but also an industrialized one. Many of the industries and institutions set up during the Nizam's period are still functioning and contributing to the need and development of the state. Nizam's state railways, Karkhana Zinda Tilismat, Singarini collieries, Hyderabad Deccan Cigarette Factory, Wazir Sultan Tobacco Company, Charminar Cigarette Factory, Azam Jahi Mills, Nizam Sugar Factory, Alvin Metal Works, Praga Tool, Deccan Airways Limited, Hyderabad Asbestos, Sir Silk, Sirpur Paper Mills, and many others are the examples of industrialization during the Nizam's period. Many industries were set up by the state itself, and many other were allowed to be set up by private players who were given concession and encouragement by the government. Not only industries were given importance, but to cater to the need of agricultural community, Nizam took great initiatives and built up a number of dams and projects for the puros. Nizam Sagar, Usman Sagar, Himayat Sagar, Ali Sagar, etc. are some of the example of Nizam's contributions in the field of irrigation, water supply and irrigation. The Nizam state at that time had piped water supply, underground drainage system, a huge network of main and arterial roads, flood control works, and meteorological observatories. In the field of education, Nizam established Usmania University, Mehboob College, City College, Alia College, Mehboobiya School, Hyderabad Public School, Asfiya Library, apart from numerous primary schools in every town and habitation of Hyderabad state. The Nizam generously approved grants to many other institutions like Aligarh Muslim University, Banaras Hindu University, Jamia Millia, etc. The passion of Nizam for education attracted a large number of scholars and eminent persons towards Hyderabad state. Even today, many structures like King Koti, Chomela Palace, Falaknuma Palace, Serian Palace, British Residency, Usmania Hospital, Charminar Hospital, museums, Assembly Building, High Court Building, Kachiguda, Secunderabad and Nampally railway stations stand testimony to the level of prosperity and magnificent civilization of those times. Conclusion: the erstwhile Nizam state is still a role model to follow in the field of education, public welfare and amenities and industrial policies. इसके मुताले के दौरान में और भी कुछ चीजें थी जो आप लोगों के सामने पेश करना था. ये तो पूरा पेपर नहीं हुआ, इसमें मजीद और भी स्टडी की जरूरत है और भी हमें बहुत सारी चीजें इसके बाद हमें मालूम होगी.